Hi there, I'm Nick Barraclough, President at AKCP, and here we are inside of our test data center facility that's currently under construction. For those of you who've been following along with our videos, welcome back. For those of you who haven't seen them before, we're currently constructing a 1 megawatt test data center facility where we're going to be able to simulate various different data center configurations, setups. So today we've had delivery of our cables and the electrical fix is going to begin. We're going to be connecting the cables from the transformer to the main breaker panel, and then we'll begin running the cables out from the breaker panel to the sub panels and to the various parts of the data center. So this is a pretty big reel of cable we've got here. Obviously it's a megawatt of power, so it's a big cables that we need. On this reel here, we've got almost 1 ton of copper. This is a 780 kilo reel of cable that's going to be connected up today. We've also got several other reels of cable you can see scattered around here. So these cables are going to be running from other parts of the breaker panel back to the various areas of the data center. In the actual data center hall itself, we won't have cable running to the racks. We've got an overhead power distribution system. If you come and take a closer look at this cable here, so this is one of the smaller cables. This reel is around 300 kilos, but you can see the cable's still pretty thick. And this one, when we get it opened up, you'll see is even bigger. This is our main service entrance breaker panel. So this is our main breaker that's going to be handling the power before it gets distributed out to our sub breaker boxes and then out to the various parts of the facility. From the main breaker panel here, we're going to be taking the power out to our sub panels that you can see on this side of the wall here. And these sub panels will be distributing then the power out into the facility to the various pods that we have on our data center floor via the bus bars. So you see here inside of the breaker panel, down here, we've got a color coding, red, yellow, and blue. So as we cut the cables, we're going to be putting tape on the ends to denote the color, so we know which terminals it goes to at each end of the cable after it's been pulled. This is where the main cable is going to be coming in. Up there you can see the opening in the wall. The cable tray from outside comes into there. That's going to all be enclosed in a box. We've taken the box off so that we can expose the area where the cable is going to run in from the cable tray. So now we have to measure up all of the various sections so we get a total length of cable that we need. So total length from here up into the box above, along the wall, and then along the cable tray. So once we've measured up all those lengths, then we can measure the correct length of cable that we need to run from the transformer to here. And we're going to have several cables of the same length running from the transformer to connect to these terminals. We've got a cable tray already fabricated and set up here, and this is going to be taking the mainline power to the transformer before it goes into our service entrance. So the mainline power isn't connected up yet. We have to finish doing all of the wiring inside of the facility before the power company will come out and connect that main line. Now we've got the panel off of the service entrance for the transformer. We've got X1, 2, and 3 on this side that's going to be connected up. So we're going to have to run the cable along this cable tray inside, and then we'll split right and left as there is a cooling fan up here. We don't want the cables touching that, so cable management, very important. Make sure that the cables are not going to be getting in the way of anything, touching anything that's hot, or potentially snagging on the fan and getting damaged. They're using a rope basically now to measure out how long the cable is going to be. So we run the rope from the transformer service entrance up to the main breaker panel box inside of there. So once that's been run, then we can cut the cable to the correct length. So now we can use the tape measure to measure the rope, and we know how long we need to cut the cable now. Now you may be wondering how you cut cable that is so big and thick. Well, there's a special tool for it, which we've got here. So bit by bit we're getting more cables measured before they get pulled into place. So here's the ends of the cable after the cut. put the red tape on, yellow tape on, and the next one that's going to be cut obviously is going to have the blue tape on it as well. We put that on both ends of the cable so we know at each end where it should be going to. So the weather isn't really cooperating with us today. Yesterday we managed to finish measuring and cutting all of the cable. Today we're supposed to be terminating it, but we don't want the cables to get wet or the inside of the transformer. We have a typhoon coming in. There was some heavy rain last night. It could also get pretty heavy again this afternoon. So for today, there's going to be no work going on terminating the cables to the outside of the transformer today. But hopefully tomorrow the weather will have improved and we'll be able to continue with that. So this is all of the cable that was measured out yesterday, all ready to go in once the weather improves. As I say, hopefully tomorrow we'll be able to start pulling these cables and actually connecting them up to the service entrance and the transformer. So we've pulled some of the cables already. You can see them here. They need to be terminated now, connected up to the breakers. The main breaker we still haven't done yet, primarily because of the weather. It's raining quite heavily and we cannot terminate outside to the transformer yet. So we're working on the stuff that we can do internally at the moment. Now, one problem we have come up against, the area here is quite tight up in the ceiling, and the main cable that we're bringing in is pretty big, and we cannot bend it on a tight radius here. So we're going to have to extend the cable tray and make a larger radius bend to bring the main cable down through these pipes to get to the main breaker here. So here's one of the main cables that's going to connect this panel to one of the sub panels over there being pulled. Follows along that cable tray and down into this panel here.